Hello, YouTube. This is Gavagai. This is just a short video um, responding to uh, what happened to in a hangout earlier. It was G-Man hangout. G-Man got on and it was I guess it was the something else related to forbidden fruit. Just tonight, this is what is it? Monday night, I guess, December 20th, 22nd rather. Sorry. But anyways, just having conversation. Brett Keane was in the hangout, and um, yeah, I wasn't making grand claims about being, a Bible scholar or anything like that. But I know about the Bible. I studied it, and I went to a Christian university when I was a Christian because I wanted to know more about the Bible. I wasn't at a seminary. I wasn't studying to be a pastor, um, but I did take several Bible classes. I took Old Testament literature. I took New Testament literature. I took kind of a beginning theology course, and I took what was it, First and Second Corinthians uh, as a study course. And um, so I've studied some of the Bible. I've read through uh, large portions of it. I have not ever read it cover to cover, but I've read the vast majority of the New Testament. I've read most of Revelation. I think I've read just about every other book in the New Testament uh, from front to back. Um, I've read large portions of the Old Testament, including all of the Pentateuch and um, most of the um, kind of Israelite history books. I've probably the least amount of reading that I've done is in the minor prophets, uh, but I'm familiar with the text. I'm familiar with the narratives. Well, Brett Keane wanted to discredit me, and so he decided that to prove that I have not read the Bible and don't know it, he was going to play, some Bible quiz and give me just basically trivia facts about the Bible to see if I could answer them. And he tried to trap me by saying um, the first one was some obscure term that I've never heard of from the book of Job. And I think it was in the original Hebrew language. And I'm not a Hebrew scholar. I've never made any claim to that. So I just admitted, I said, I don't know that. I'm not familiar with that term. Um, and and then he moved on from there. He didn't try and press that point, I think, because he probably realized that he had overstepped it, and that none of them would know that term or what that term meant. Um, but then he brought up the story of David and Goliath, and he asked me, trying to trap me by saying, how did David kill Goliath? I'm familiar with the story. I said he took a stone and used his stone and slingshot and killed Goliath with the stone. And several of the theists in the room celebrated and said, "Oh, we got him! Ah, ha, ha. He doesn't know the Bible because uh, it says that David cut off Goliath's head after he was struck with the stone." While that is true, that David cut off Goliath's head, the actual text from this is First Samuel chapter 17. Uh, let's see, verse. Let's start with verse 48. As the Philistine moved closer to attack him, David ran quickly toward the battle line to meet him. Reaching into his bag and taking out a stone, he slung it and struck the Philistine on the forehead. The stone sank into his forehead, and he fell face down on the ground. So it doesn't say he's dead yet. Let's read on. So David triumphed over the Philistine with a sling and a stone. Without a sword in his hand, he struck down the Philistine and killed him. So it was the stone that David used to kill Goliath. David killed Goliath with a stone. I was right with my first answer. And then it says David ran over to see him, took out the Philistine's sword, drew it from its sheath. And after he had killed him, he cut off the head with the sword. So there you have it. So it was a test to see if I knew the Bible. Then Brett Keane, you knew the Bible less than I did. I was right and you were wrong. It's also interesting that before I was able to turn the table on Brett Keane and play the same silly, stupid game with him and play Bible trivia to see if he knew, or if if I could stump Veckel or G-Man or any of the other Christians in the room by playing random trivia facts from the Bible, I was booted. I was promptly booted from the room. Uh, Um, that's not the way to determine what is true. And if that's the way you guys are playing your games, you're clearly not interested in actually uh, having a dialogue, having a discussion. You're just playing a game of who can catch someone, and you're playing a game of gotcha. So, you know, I think it's very clear for anybody who's watching, who's actually interested in the truth. Um, you know, they can see what's happening. And the other kind of fun little game that Brett Keane um, played was constantly muting me, um, and then proceeding to tell me what I believed. And he kept saying, trying to say that from my atheist worldview, which atheism doesn't, my worldview is not, doesn't fall out from my the fact that I don't believe that there's a God. My worldview is framed around my view of reason and evidence and skepticism. Those are the things that frame my worldview. So not atheism. Atheism just is a single answer to a single question. It's just asking or an answer to the question, do you believe in any gods? And my answer is no. Uh, so that's not a worldview. And uh, to Brett Keene's comment that I don't have anything to offer. I have I have reality to offer. And if you're not satisfied with reality and you want to play pretend, that's fine. You can do that. Um, but that's not what I'm interested in. And I hope that there are more people in this world who are interested in finding out what is true and what is real, and fewer people who are just playing a game of one-upsmanship and uh, kind of disingenuous sophistry. So anyhow, that's all I've got for tonight. This was just a short video. Uh, Hope you all have happy holidays and a happy new year. If I catch you in Hangouts, look forward to more conversations with everyone. Good night.